Introducing GForceTV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GForceTV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GForceTV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GForceTV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GForceTV racing leagues. GForceTV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GForceTV.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back for some Monday Night Madness. Tonight, we're heading to Florida, doing some gator hunting. We're at the Volusia Speedway Park for some Monday Night Madness featuring the A&J Custom Creations Renegades. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sean Neisted, and with us, as always, our good friend, Scotty DeYoung. We like to call him Scotty Too Hottie. Hello there, Scotty.
Sean, how's it going with you?
We are doing well here tonight. It's a little cold here in our part of the country, but, you know, we're going to heat it up with some hot racing action out there on the racetrack.
I cannot wait. Volusia Speedway is finally here. Just seems like Speed Weeks from Volusia just wrapping up this past weekend out in the real world. We're visiting here on iRacing, and like you said, gator hunting. Who's going to win the big gator tonight?
Absolutely. Tonight, also the second annual Jim Brown Memorial. We'll go some extra laps in tonight's feature event as well, and we'll talk about Jim throughout tonight's broadcast as well. So, again, we welcome you in as we get set for these A&J Custom Creations Renegades here tonight on the Volusia Speedway. We welcome you into the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show. Gambler Motorsports, an esports racing team that competes across the iRacing platform. The team has drivers entered in the dirt races, sports cars, paved oval, even endurance races. They've got drivers in the 24 Hours of Daytona that just wrapped up. They've got drivers in Le Mans. They've got just about everything. Head on over to Gambler Motorsports on Facebook and give them a follow to learn more about the good folks over at Gambler Motorsports. Looking at Stephen Goldner making his way around the racetrack. He's got the second quickest time here in practice before the races. Quick time right now belongs to Steven Fernberg, the driver of the number 29. You see making his way around the Volusia Speedway right now as he heads over into turn number 2. So that's a look at some of the drivers out here on the Speedway early on in this Gambler Motorsports pre-race show. Scotty, you and I like to talk about the racetrack during the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show. For the second consecutive week, we've got a different shaped racetrack, but this one, as you and I both know, is a lot more forgiving than the track we were on last week up there in New York.
It is. This racetrack has a wider corners, and it's not a perfect oval as you would see with most racetracks, but it's about a half mile. Put on some great racing action. The turns 3 and 4 can be a little tricky coming off turn 4 onto the front stretch, especially with 410 cars coming off of turn 4. That turn likes to pull you right to the wall or shoot you down to the bottom. 360 cars, not so much, but this track is a tough one to navigate, and you always got to make sure if you're going on the inside of the track not to hit the retaining wall, and as well the cushion can be right on the wall here at this track too. So you got to be careful to make sure where you're putting that left front or that right rear, and make sure to hit your marks coming out of the corners here.
Very good points there, Scotty, as we continue on forward with the Jack Clevenger, number 78. You see him making his way around the racetrack. This is entering turn 3. You see the wall on the bottom. Those tires at the bottom of turn 4, they like to bite you like a gator does. Looks like Jack going to take a run in on the bottom, slide on up, grab the cushion, coming off of turn number 2. So that's a lap around the track behind the wheel with Jack Clevenger and that number 78 machine. As look to see him do well again here tonight. Of course, part of our Gambler Motorsports pre-race show, we need to check in on the Need Speed Motorsports points update coming into tonight's program. Of course, NSM Wraps can get your car looking great on the iRacing sim. Head over to needspeedmotorsports.com or Need Speed Motorsports on Facebook, and you'll find a lot of great information about them as we take a look at the point standings coming into tonight's event here at the Volusia Speedway. Scotty, and still a familiar name atop the point standings.
4 car of Kyle Moonitz still atop the leaderboard with 463. 3 points behind him, though, the 03 of Sean Bowers. Sean Bowers has been a consistent top 5 runner the past few weeks here, and a driver we just saw out on the speedway moments ago, Jack Clevenger, that 78 car, sits atop the 3rd place spot here in your current top 10.
Stephen Goldner sits number 4. Lane Snook sits number 5 in the point standings. Jonathan Short is 6th. Jesse Bandy sits number 7 coming into tonight. Ross Carenta is 8th. Max Langevin 9th. And Jeff Fitzpatrick completing your top 10 in the points coming into this event here at the Volusia Speedway. Coming off the win last week, Brandon Schultz picked up the win there at the Weed Sports Speedway. Jack Clevenger and Jonathan Short were also on the podium, finishing 2nd and 3rd. You see their names in the top 10 in this championship hunt with the A&J Custom Creations Renegades. So a lot to talk about here tonight, as it looks like the cars have gone quiet. They've headed into the pit area. They're going to get through their drivers meeting here in the next couple of minutes, and then they'll have a couple more minutes to feel out the racetrack, and then we will go into Bandy Built qualifications here tonight. So we'll continue on with the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show live from the Volusia Speedway here on GForceTV and on GeForce Esports. Scotty, we're getting down to that time of the season. 12 weeks in the season. As we look at it, this is, I got to think of it now, we are on week number 9 of the GeForce Racing League. So if you're one of those drivers we just talked about towards the top of the point standings, how much are you thinking about that tonight when you're out there on the racetrack racing?
Former driver, I really don't think about it, but if you are thinking about it, it would be the key to make sure you have your setups right going into this track. Keep your nose clean when on the track and make sure you use your head. We've touched on this word a lot, Sean. Patience. Patience is the name of the game. Don't be too aggressive, but be aggressive when you have to, and be patient on when to make your moves and make sure you hit your marks correctly.
That's a good point as well. So we'll have to wonder about that as we go through the program here tonight, how much they're thinking about points and patience, and how much they're thinking about stomping that right foot through the floor and going for a victory. Of course, these are the A&J Custom Creations Renegades. A&J Custom Creations specializes in laser engraving and CNC machining. A&J Custom Creations puts its craftsmanship to work in every wood trophy and plaque that they produce. A&J provides trophies and plaques to all of the GeForce Racing Leagues. Of course, Andy Patton, he's the man to contact for your A&J Custom Creation. They can do just about anything over there at A&J Custom Creations, and we thank them for bringing us the event here tonight with the Renegades, as always. And, of course, Scotty, we also got to congratulate some good folks who had some good runs here just a little bit ago. In fact, finished up just a minute before the top of the hour. Brian Moore Jr., the driver of the 09 car in the Rebels, picked up the victory over there. Scotty Edwards was 2nd. Luke Gazarek was 3rd. Brennan Lacey, who got his first Renegades win earlier this season in the 414, he was 4th in the finish. And Larry Moody completed your top 5 just a little bit ago in the Rebels feature. Of course, the Raiders start Monday Night Madness with their event, and you're thinking, well, geez, 3 different races. Yeah, there's several different leagues to get involved with the GeForce Racing Leagues. They'll find the right one that is for your skill level. they'll get you set up with that. Just go over to GForceRL.com. That's short for GeForce Racing Leagues, of course. GForceRL.com, and you'll find information on all of the different leagues out there for GeForce Racing Leagues. Of course, Monday nights, we've got the Madness with the 360 sprints. They'll have the midgets run tomorrow. Wednesday night, you can tune in and watch the doubleheader. This is a great night to watch action on Wednesday, Scotty. The street stocks and then the Elite 360 sprints are on Wednesday nights. You can watch them on GeForce TV. And then, of course, Thursday night, we've got the big block modifieds that we have fallen in love with this year, Scotty.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, new class being brought to iRacing. And from day number one, with new league starting out, they put on a great show each and every week. It's really fun to watch them, just the difference between the sprint cars and the modifieds. They drive a lot differently, they race a lot differently, and they definitely bring a new perspective to the iRacing platform.
They are a joy to be a part of on our Thursday night Thunder affairs. As Checkered Flag coming out, that's going to wrap up our Gambler Motorsports pre-race show, and we'll turn our attention to our next event on the clock here tonight, and that is going to be your Vanderbilt qualifications. Each driver going to get 2 laps on the clock, and that will set the starting grid for tonight's heat race events all through the evening. Of course, Vanderbilt qualifications brought to us by Vanderbilt Race Cars, a proud supporter of the GeForce Racing Leagues. They're headquartered in beautiful Rochester, Minnesota, where it's also below zero tonight. Vanderbilt puts their focus on fun and friendly competition. Time's going to start rolling in here, Scotty, as we work through the times. You'll see coming across the bottom and filling in on the top of the screen as John Hine goes quickest out there on the speedway at a best lap of a 13.550. So the 71 atop the charts right now with, oh, he'll get bumped. Jeff Fitzpatrick, 13.493. Quick time for Fitzy. The number 90 ride going to the top of the charts.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick, I believe you call him Shaky. Is
Yeah.
that the guy you call Shaky?
Yeah.
So looks like he's not shaking behind the wheel tonight, Sean, as he's going quick time. John Hine, who has been a 2W's Plumbing Hard Charger recipient these past 2 weeks, up in that second spot. Will we see maybe another hard charge from him tonight? We'll have to see what happens with the heat race and then through the consolation feature and A feature tonight. But Fitzpatrick just laying down the law so far with a 13.49. Looks like Jonathan Short, the 51 car, that A&J Custom Creations car, out making a lap here.
Looks like this will be his first lap to go into the books. And he'll go 13.64 for his best lap. So, oh, Steven Golder, though. Look at that. Buzzer beater at the end, getting up to the second spot. And Kyle Moonen coming out late. Yeah.
Looks like Fitzpatrick is going to be the, he's going to be the guy to beat, though, here. Kyle Moonen just going to take a lap here up to that third place spot in that 24 car.
Yeah, a couple drivers there. Last moments of Vanderbilt qualifications getting a very, very quick lap around the Volusia Speedway to just about bring our qualifications to an end here tonight. Looks like 26 drivers have taken a time thus far for the Jim Brown Memorial, second annual Jim Brown Memorial with the GeForce Racing Leagues. Of course, Jim was cousin to Roger Craig, one of the many people who worked so hard behind the scenes here on the GeForce Racing Leagues. And it was Jim Brown who introduced Roger to stock car racing many years ago. And unfortunately, Jim passed away just a shade over 1 year ago. And so tonight we celebrate his life with our second annual Jim Brown Memorial. And we're going to add some laps to the A main here tonight, Scotty. Sounds like we're going to go about 40 laps in distance in tonight's A main. That sounds pretty good to me if you're looking for my input. Sounds like a good time. As we get set to go into racing action here tonight, A&J Custom Creations will bring us these Renegades. They also bring us heat race number 1 and the starting lineup. About to come out onto the racetrack once I click the right button. Scotty, let's take a look at that starting grid.
That's going to be Matthew Krokey in the 2 car starting on the pole, and his outside, Ross Carenta in the 010.
Aiden Young, he'll start third on the grid in car number 69, and your quick timer It'll be the number 90, Jeff Fitzpatrick. He'll start fourth on the starting lineup.
Steven Fernberg to the inside of row 3 in car 29. To his outside, the 661 of Terry Elandis.
And coming from the back, that'll be the 513 of Jeffrey Barker. It looks like 8 laps will be the distance on our heat races tonight. The top 4 finishers go directly to tonight's A&J Custom Creations, a feature event for these A&J Custom Creations Renegades. So they'll start to roll around the speedway behind the pace vehicle, and we'll get set for the green here in just a little bit. Again, A&J Custom Creations bringing you the Renegades action and heat race number 1. They provide all of the trophies and plaques for the GeForce Racing League Division champions. Of course, they're all specially designed through laser engraving or CNC machining over at A&J Custom Creations with the handy craftsmanship of Andy Patton. So we will get the green 1 lap from right there, Scotty, for our first heat race of this Jim Brown Memorial.
That we are under the pace lap now. Kuroki and Carenta on the front row. Young, Fitzpatrick, second row. Landis, Fernberg, your third row, and Barker starting shotgun on the field. I'm getting excited, Sean. We're about to go green flag racing here in just a few moments here at the Volusia half mile. If only it were a little warmer where we're at, it would be perfect.
Yeah, we could look at that real quick. Remind me, or I'll try to jump in. We'll take a look at what the virtual temperature is here in a little bit down there in Florida. I know I was watching the USAC race earlier, and they were walking around in shorts and T-shirts, so I'm a little jealous. We go green. Let's heat things up here. Matthew Croakey going to lead him on down into turn number 1. Carenta in the second spot. Fitzpatrick, quick timer, up to third with Aiden Young in fourth, but here comes a pack to his outside.
Almost 3 wide through turn number 3 and 4. Whole little squirrely possible contact from Barker, it looked like. Matthew Croakey still with the race lead. Carenta in that second spot. Almost a battle shaping up for the lead here, Sean. Here comes that 10 car on the high side as the 2 of Croakey dives to the bottom.
Croakey will lead him now with 6 laps remaining on the A&J Custom Creations heat race number 1, right around the hub through turns 1 and 2. Track reworked there after Vanderbilt qualifications before our first heat race. So a very fast Volusia Speedway right now for these drivers in this A&J Custom Creations opening heat race. Fitzpatrick doing what he needs to do after setting quick time. He continues to run position number 3 as they head into turn 3.
Single file around the raceway for the top 3 cars, top 4 cars. Fernberg sitting in that 4th place spot. Carenta trying to make a run on the 2 of Croakey, cannot do so. Fernberg the 29, Fitzpatrick the 90, Carenta the 10, and Croakey your top 4 as Croakey leads in the lap 3 laps to go this time by, Sean.
We'll go on board tonight's quick timer, the 90 of Jeff Fitzpatrick, as he makes his way around the racetrack. You see his best lap, a 13.591 in this heat race. As watch his hands here, trying to keep the hands nice and steady. You don't want to get the cars very sideways, especially when the track is fast like this. So good looking setup. That allows the hands to be nice and steady behind the wheel for the driver who continues to run third as we head down the back straightaway for the final time, Scotty.
Yeah, you use the gas to steer that car through the corner as Matthew Croakey does so. He will take home the checkered flag here in heat race number 1. Carenta in that second place spot, Fitzpatrick in third, and Fernberg your 4th and final train through to tonight's A feature.
So checkered flag waves on the A&J Custom Creations heat race number 1. Quick look at your official results coming up on the screen from our opening heat race here tonight as, we're not at Wheat Sport. I didn't get that fixed. Croakey, Carenta, Fitzpatrick, and Fernberg, your transfers, Young, Landis, and Barker going to head to tonight's consolation event. Heat race number 2 in the staging area. And Scotty, go ahead and give us a look at that entire starting lineup. I'm going to go fix a little thing.
Sounds good. We're going to see Blake Chapman on the pole in car number 20. Preston Cranmer in the 07 to his outside. Row 2 is going to see Brennan Lacey, feature winner already here this year, in the 414 car to the outside. Stephen Goldner in car 30. John Short in car 51 to the inside of row 3 with Matt Ramsey to the outside in car 45. And starting shotgun on the field is going to be the 151 of Nathan Aldrich. That's going to be your heat race at number 2, brought to you by the McConey Setup Shop. their setups, but they are your victories. Makone's commitment to providing high-quality setups at an affordable price has remained since day one and drives the company to this day. Makoni Setup Shop builds a personal relationship with each and every customer and have an open door when it comes to communication. Once again, they bring you the Makoni Setup Shop Heat Race number 2. Like that is Blake Chapman, Stephen Goldner on that front row. Ooh, look at that. Volusia Speedway, 7 degrees, 45% humidity, partly cloudy, 4 mile an hour. Oh, why couldn't we have this weather outside right now, Sean? That looks wonderful.
Oh, up here in the beautiful upper Midwest of the United States, we are below 0, and it's not going to get above that very much this entire week. So we're just going to have to get used to it, Scotty.
You know, Sean, you were saying that the USAC guys were walking around in shorts. I was walking around outside in a shorts and sleeveless shirt today. I mean, the cold has never bothered me anyway. I'm just like Elsa and let it go.
No. That's the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life, Scotty. We are green. Stephen Goldner out to the early lead. Here comes Blake Chapman behind him.
It's going to be Stephen Goldner out to the race lead. Blake Chapman, that Skittles 20 car in second place. Brennan Lacey, feature winner already here for the Renegade Series. And Matt Ramsey up to that fourth and final transfer spot. Kramer, Short, and Aldrich rounding out your top 7.
Lacey is running in that third spot, had a fourth place run earlier tonight in the Rebels Series. He's got the 45 of Ramsey right behind him. Lacey and Ramsey run third and fourth. Ramsey right now would be your final transfer. Preston Cranmer 1 out of a transfer position as they run on the speedway with 5 laps to go. It's still Stephen Goldner out front. In that number 30 ride, Blake Chapman continues to pursue him.
Stephen Goldner, winner just a few weeks ago at the Eldora Speedway with that 30 car. Chapman kind of tucked tail behind him around the Volusia Speedway. Lacey and Ramsey, your current top 4. Cranmer trying to get a run, but here comes Ramsey to the inside of the 414 of Lacey. Almost touching wheels there as we click off another lap. Stephen Goldner still in the pilot seat.
That brings Preston Cranmer into the mix here. The 07 up to the 45 of Matt Ramsey and could potentially challenge for the transfer spot. They head down into turn number 1 as we are on board. 5th place running Preston Cranmer as he has a good look of Matt Ramsey right in front of him, but he'd like to see him get behind him as we're at the white flag. Final lap here on this heat race. Who will the transfer go to?
Cranmer pulling up to the tail tank of Ramsey. Here he goes to the inside in 3 and 4. Cannot do so. It is going to be Goldner taking home the heat race win. Blake Chapman in second, Brennan Lacey in fourth, and Matt Ramsey rounding out your top 4. You know, Sean, we were talking about the cold here, and a friend of mine from British Columbia just messaged me. It's minus 25, that's Celsius, that is, up in British Columbia. So I think we're colder down here in the States than it is up in Canada.
Yeah, I'd have to go through and convert that. That's a lot of math. You know what's not math is knowing Stephen Goldner, Blake Chapman, Brennan Lacey, Matt Ramsey going to go on to the A. Cranmer, Short, and Aldrich going to tonight's Velocity Race Design B Main. Heat race number 3 coming on to the racetrack. That's the Howard Hanna Realty heat race number 3 coming up here in a moment. We'll take a look at the starting grid for this one. It will be Brian Moore Jr. coming off the win earlier tonight in the Rebels. He'll start on the pole, and next to him, 7th in the point standings, the 57 of Jesse Bandy.
Who's going to see Lane Snook in the 123? Glad to see him back. And Kyle Moonen, your current point leader in car 24, is outside.
The 73 of Larry Moody. He was 5th in the Rebels feature. He'll start inside the 3rd row. Jack Clevenger, the 78 ride. He'll start in position number 6.
Kevin Fry in the 021 starting shotgun on the field. And this heat race brought to you by Howard Hanna Real Estate.
Of course, if you're looking for some real estate, maybe a new home, and you want to get that home at the right price, of course, why wouldn't you? The person to contact, that's Scott Hurwitz. Hurwitz over at Howard Hanna Real Estate can help find an experienced professional realtor anywhere across the country. He's got the experience and knowledge to ask the right questions and get the best house for the right price. He's with Howard Hanna Real Estate, the #1 family-owned and operated independent broker in the United States. A big thank you to Scott Hurwitz, who just finished up racing in the Rebels event earlier tonight. And A lot of the drivers in this heat race were also in that Rebels event here just a little bit ago. Got a little seat time on the Volusia Speedway just before this Renegades broadcast for the Jim Brown Memorial.
Yeah, and what better place to have the Jim Brown Memorial than here at Volusia as we take a look at the 123 of Lane Snook there alongside Kyle Moonen. Lane Snook, 12 years old, but a great wheelman there, and sitting side by side with your current points leader, the 24 car.
So we get set for that green flag. It will fly off of a turn number 4. The field heading into the starting zone. Green flag ready to drop. Pace truck into the infield, and we are green with the Howard Hanna Real Estate Heat Race number 3.
Look at that start from Jesse Bandy in the 57 car out to the race lead. More side by side with Kyle Moonen for that second and third place spot. Lane Snook, he's going to have company here in a second as he holds on to that fourth and final transfer spot. But here comes Moody and Fry right to the tail tank of the 123.
Ooh, that was real close there. Jack Clevenger able to sneak into that 5th spot. Larry Moody looking back to his inside. It's still Snook in that final transfer spot, but they are all over fast lane as they go down into turn number 1. They were stair-stepping 4 wide.
Look at Lane Snook, though, pulling up to the tail tank of the 24 car of Kyle Moonen. Top 4 cars. Oh, here comes the 78 car of Clevenger side by side with Lane Snook now on the bottom side of the track. Clevenger looking for that 4th and final transfer spot as they come down backstretch now into turn number 3.
Oh, it's a close one as they hustle him off of turn number 4. Clevenger may have the advantage. He did at the stripe. That shuffles Snook out of a transfer spot, and he's going to have to get back going. Still got pressure right behind him from the 73 of Larry Moody. A lot of action going on right now in this Howard Hanna Real Estate Heat Race number 3.
And don't count out Kevin Fry just yet. He is there too. Lane Snook getting shuffled back to that 5th place spot, 1 out of its transfer. Here comes Kevin Fry, though. Fry side by side with Lane Snook. Snook might get shuffled back to the 7th spot. No, still in that 6th spot. Now back to that 7th spot is the 123 of Fry.
Yeah, it looks like Larry Moody just getting by Lane Snook at his number 73 machine as he'll hustle it down the front straightaway on this final lap. Out front, it's Jesse Bandy. The Bandy built number 57 will enter the final set of turns. He's got the 09 of Brian Moore Jr. Going to pressure him, keep him honest here at the line. It's Jesse Bandy by wow, look at that. 1/100th.
1/1000.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, 1/100th of a second. Goodness.
What a finish result that was on our Howard Hanna Real Estate Heat Race number 3. Let's check the official results just to be sure. There it is, Jesse Bandy. What a finish there. The 57 just edging out the 09 of Brian Moore Jr. Kyle Moonen 3rd. Jack Clevenger sneaks into the final transfer spot with the 78. They all go to tonight's main event. Larry Moody and Lane Snook going to go to the consolation, which is coming up here in just a little bit. Right now, heat race number 4 starting to grid up out there on the racetrack. That's the Schultz Heating and Cooling. Heat race number 4, Scotty. It'll have Max Langevin on the pole position, though. 161 out of Canada. Corey Kussler, the 126, going to line up to his outside.
Starting inside a second row, he currently sets 3 points behind Kyle Moonen. That's going to be the 03 of Sean Bowers. And his outside, your 2W's Plumbing Hard Charger recipient the past couple weeks, the 71 of John Hine.
Luke Gazarek going to start inside the 3rd row, the 419 machine. And next to him, from Crook, South Dakota, the Galen's Homegrown Popcorn car number 46. That's Joe Backus going to line up in the 6th position. So that'll be your starting lineup for heat race number 3, the Schultz Heating and Cooling heat race number 3. It's a field wall.
Number 4, Sean.
Number 4. Number 4. Having so much fun. It's just slipping on by here.
Number
you know
4 brought to you by...
Yes.
Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to figure out my counting here, but I can tell you, Schultz Heating and Cooling, the HVAC experts in Plattsburgh, New York. Whether you need a routine maintenance check or an emergency repair on a heating or cooling unit, the Schultz Heating and Cooling technicians are available to handle all of your heating and cooling and ventilation needs. You don't need to know if it's Heat 3 or Heat 4. You do need to know 585-330-4992. That's the number to call Schultz Heating and Cooling, 585-330-4992. As we get set for Schultz Heating and Cooling heat race number 4, Scotty. I think I'm caught up now.
Yes, you are, Sean. Heat race number 4. I apologize. I must have Knocked you off the lineups here with that comment earlier about
You
Frozen,
did.
but
You did. I've never once have I compared you to Elsa, and I don't think I ever will again.
first time for everything, right? It's going to be Langevin and Kussler leading them to the green flag as the pace truck dives in the infield. Barney set to wave the green, and he does. Look at the start from Langevin in car 161. And Sean Bowers going to tuck behind him in that second place spot through turns 1 and 2.
They'll head on down to turn number 3. Bowers running in the second spot. Here comes John Hine. That high groove may be coming in. That's where the 71 machine was there through 3 and 4. He'll run there over here in 1 and 2 as well. Joe Backus already gained 2 spots and into a transfer in that number 46 machine as he follows the 71 of John Hine off of turn number 4.
Right in front of him, Sean Bowers, the 03 car, caught the tail tank of Langevin in the 161. Bowers now looking to the inside, trying to get to the left rear tire of the 161 car to the inside. Slide job coming, slide job complete. As Jerry Van Sickle would say, White Castles are open into turn number 1.
Oh, great job there from Bowers, too. He went down and blocked the advance of Langevin, getting back into turn number 1. Did not allow Langevin to return the favor on the opposite end of the speedway. So Bowers, now your race winner. Race leader. He picked up a win last week in another league I happened to take a peek and do some work with on Wednesday night. So good run going right now for the 0-3 machine. Joe Backus continues to hold the final transfer spot. Kusler and Gazarick battling behind them for position number 5. Right now, give that to the 126 of Kusler.
Their slide job there in turns 1 and 2. Great racing here at the Volusia Speedway tonight for A&J Custom Creations. 360 Renegades sprint cars. Sean Bowers currently with the race lead. Look at John Hine side by side with Langevin out of turn number 2. Langevin got the run he needed though. Hine back down to the bottom side of the raceway as it's Backus now coming to the charge in car 46. Hine still in that third place spot looking for more off turn number 2, Sean.
Final time, they'll head down the back straightaway, entering turn number 3 for the last trip around. Sean Bowers out front in this one, and he'll bring the 0-3 to the win. A second place run there for Max Langevin, John Hine third, and Joe Backus going to come from the final row to get the final transfer spot in car number 46, as that puts all of our heat races into the books, all 4 of them here tonight, as we'll take a look at your official results from heat race number 4, and that was Bowers, Langevin, Hine, and Backus getting the transfer spots. Kusler and Gazarick going to go to tonight's Velocity Race Design B feature event. Speaking of the Velocity Race Design B main, that's what's heading onto the track right now. 10 laps will be the distance. We've put 16 drivers into the A main already, so the top 8 are going to move on after this one. So not just going for starting positions on this one, Scotty. The top 8 going to transfer to the A main after 10 laps. Let's take a look at that starting grid.
It's going to be Aiden Young in the 69 car sitting on the pole. To his outside, the 07 of Preston Cranmer.
Larry Moody going to start third on the grid, and joining him in row number 2 will be the 126 of Corey Kusler.
Gary Landis in the car 661 to the inside of row 3. John Short in the 51 to his outside.
Let's go to the 4th row. That's where the 123 Lane Snook will line up on the inside. Luke Gazarick, the 419. Good looking 419, by the way. He'll start outside of him, going from position number 8.
Fifth row is going to see Jeffrey Barker in car 513 to the inside, and Nathan Aldrich, your NSM driver of the week just a few weeks ago, in the 151 to the outside.
Ooh, that's a good-looking car, Scotty.
I like it. David Gravel's number 2 car, which has been competing with the Ollie's Bargain Outlet All-Star Circuit Champions, as well as the, I believe, the World of Outlaws Knopf Energy Drink Sprint cars, I believe. So David Gravel piloting that car out in the real world. Yes, it does say Gravel right there on the wings. So, yeah.
I like the sponsor on that car. I don't know why. I just really like the sponsors on that car, Scotty.
It looked really good. Reminds us of a racetrack near you, I believe, Sean, that has great meaning to everyone here. Oh, and the Jackson Motoplex on there as well. Both racetracks very good and near and dear to our hearts out here in the Midwest.
Looking forward to the Mother's Day opener out there at Huset's as we get set. Velocity Race Design bringing us this B-Main. Again, top 8 transfer. Whether it's the hot new design for your real car or a retro throwback of your hero for the sim, Velocity Race Design has you covered. Race on over to Velocity Race Design on Facebook and order your custom paint today. Here we go with the green. 8 going to transfer to the A-Main. Preston Cranmer, Aiden Young, side by side. Cranmer with the advantage as I head down the back straightaway.
Jonathan Short coming up, and look at Aldrich, I believe, coming through the field already in that 151. Aldrich up to that 6th place spot. Moody and Gazarek battling for that top 4 right as we come through turn number 3. Almost 3 wide into turn 3 and 4, Sean.
Ooh, Aldrich got over the cushion over there in turn number 4. He jumps back to the 7th spot. Right now, Terry Landis in the final transfer position. In the 661, he's got Jeffrey Barker trying to keep his dancing shoes on here tonight. He'll go to the inside looking for the transfer spot. Landis holds it as they go by the stripe with 7 to go.
Top 8 transfer, like you said, Sean. Landis holds it for now. Cranmer out in front. John Short pulling up to the rear tail tank there in that 51 car. Aiden Young, Lane Snook, and Gazarek battling for that top 5 spot. Moody and Aldrich and Landis still your top 8.
Down the back straightaway, they fan out into turn number 3. Still Short running in the 2nd position as they come down the front straightaway. Speed shot down here into turn number 1. You see Landis continuing to hold on to the final transfer position.
As we see Aiden Young and Lane Snook currently on your screen. Oh, here comes Moody, I believe, in that 73 car. Touches tires with the 123 of Lane Snook. And Lane Snook splits the difference between Moody and Aiden Young. And here comes 151 of Aldrich in there as well.
Oh, all sorts of action here tonight. If this is setting it up, I am now even more excited for tonight's A-Main event because we have had some great heat races and some good action here in the B-Mains as well. There you see the Kreitz Racing 661 of Terry Landis continuing on in the 8th and final transfer spot in this Velocity Race Design B-Main. He now works over Nathan Aldrich. They're going down the back straightaway. Leaders coming around to the white flag.
White flag is out one more time around the half-mile Volusia Speedway here in Florida. Cranmer still with that race lead. Short sitting in 2nd. Lane Snook. Whoa, they're 3 wide down the backstretch into turn 3, though, Sean. It's going to be Gazarek to the bottom double slide job. Lane Snook is going to get 3rd. Gazarek 4th. Moody is going to be 5th. Aiden Young 6th. Nathan Aldrich 7th, and Terry Landis in 8th. But Preston Cranmer taking home the top spot here in your Velocity Race Design consolation feature.
So that puts all of the qualifying for tonight's event into the books. We welcome you into the Icon Sim Sports pre-main break. You can learn more about Icon Sim Sports. Just stay tuned. Of course, I could tell you a little bit about Icon Sim Sports. I could tell you I want a lot of their rigs because they are amazing. Just head on over to iconsimsports.com to check that out. Icon Sim Sports aims to bring the sim racing community a one-of-a-kind fixed chassis experience that's like none other, and they mean it when they say that. And they also exemplify extraordinary customer service with each and every order. They will build you a sim racing chassis that's specifically built for you, engineered to accommodate you and your needs. They also replicate the look, feel, and design of a real race car. It's only done at Icon Sim Sports, and you can see more at iconsimsports.com. Before we go into any more here, Scotty, it's that time of the week where, on Monday night, we get the honors of unveiling the driver of the week each and every week, and tonight we get to do that as well.
That we do. I currently don't have it pulled up here, but we
thing.
have great talent here. Great talent here in the all classes of the GeForce Racing Leagues. And so who is our driver of the week for the NSM photos, Sean?
Your driver of the week is Brennan Lacey, who you saw out there on the racetrack. There he is. Driver of the 414. He captured the Driver of the Week honors last week. He started 24th in last week's Vanderbilt Racing Sportsman Modified C feature. That's the C division. And passed all the way up to position number 9. Of course, Lacey also got his first career win with the Renegades earlier this season in that Powerhouse Motorsports Vanderbilt Race Cars 414. So he will be this week's NSM Photos Driver of the Week as we continue to make our way around the speedway here tonight, getting set for action coming up. We'll take a look at some of the other drivers getting ready for this feature event. And I tell you what, on the other side of this break, we will get into the Jim Brown Memorial A-Main and talk about some other great things coming up here with the GeForce Racing Leagues as well. You're watching the Jim Brown Memorial A&J Custom Creations Renegades live on GeForce TV.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Welcome back to the virtual Volusia Speedway Park tonight as we get set for tonight's Jim Brown Memorial, a feature event going 40 times around the Volusia Speedway here tonight for these A&J Custom Creations Renegades. As the drivers go pit side, last a couple minutes here, Scotty, for these drivers to get their cars tuned up as they all hope to head to the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Victory Lane and podium presentation here, as all the drivers do each and every Monday Night Madness. Of course, Epsilon Sprint Wraps will help you stand out from the competition. They create tailor-made graphics and logos to fit your personal taste. With a focus on the realistic design, you'll look like you drove off of your local dirt track and right on in to iRacing champions. Choose Epsilon Sprint Wraps. One thing that I know you pay attention to each and every week, Scotty, is the drivers coming through the field and going for that 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger Award.
That we do. John Hine has been the recipient the past couple of weeks in the 71 car in the not only in the Renegades here, but also the big block modified. 2W's Plumbing Hard Charger, located in Naples, New York. 2W's Plumbing is a full-service company specializing in all aspects of plumbing and general contracting and water treatment for commercial, residential, and multi-family housing. Contact Chris Whipple at 585-749-9478 or look them up online at 2wsplumbingllc.com. They bring you the Hard Charger Award here each and every week for the GeForce Racing Leagues.
And with that, it is time to get into tonight's main event, your Jim Brown Memorial 40-lap feature here from the Volusia Speedway Park. Scotty, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup.
Starting on the pole here tonight, Matthew Croakey in the 2 car to the inside of row 1. To his outside, outstanding driver here in the 30 of Stephen Goldner.
Second row on the inside, he drives the number 57. It's Jesse Bandy. And alongside him, number 2 in the points and a feature winner this season, the 03 of Sean Bowers.
Ross Carenta in the 010 to the inside of row 3. To his outside in the 20 car, that is the Skittles of Blake Chapman.
Starting inside, row number 4, feature winner tonight with the Rebels, it's the 09 of Brian Moore Jr. And going from position number 8, the 161 of Max Langevin.
To the inside of row number 5, your quick timer here tonight, that is Jeff Fitzpatrick in car number 90. And your NSM photos of the week, your driver of the week, I should say, the 414 of Brennan Lacey to the outside.
Starting inside the 6th row, it's Kyle Moonen, your current points leader. He drives the number 24. And next to him, going from the 12th starting spot on the grid, John Hine in car number 71.
Kicking off from position 13th here tonight in car 29, that is Steven Fernberg. And to his outside, starting 14th, that is 45 of Matt Ramsey.
We get set to go into the rest of your starting lineup. It goes with Jack Clevenger starting inside the 8th row. That's the 78. Joe Backus, the 46. He'll go from 16th.
Preston Kramer starting 17th there tonight in car 07. John Short his outside in car 51.
Lane Stook starts 19th at the 123. Luke Gazareth, the 419. He'll go from 20th.
Larry Moody in car 73 going from 21st into the outside. The 22nd driver, Aiden Young in car 69.
12th and final row, Nathan Aldrich, the 151 on the inside. Terry Landis on the outside in the 661. He starts 24th on the grid here tonight. For the A&J Custom Creations main event tonight, it is the Jim Brown Memorial here live from Volusia Speedway Park. And we'll get into the start here in just a couple of moments as a big night of action. 40 laps you see on the board as we get set to go here tonight from Volusia as the caution remains over the speedway as we get set for tonight's Jim Brown Memorial. It's going to be a big event here for these drivers from the GeForce Racing Leagues. And, of course, tonight we're paying tribute to Jim Brown, who is the cousin of Roger Craig. Roger works behind the scenes tirelessly for the GeForce Racing Leagues. And, you know, it's hard to say if Roger'd be into racing today like he is, because it was Jim who introduced Roger to stock car racing at a younger age and got Roger's interest into the sport. And so that is very, very cool. Of course, we honor Jim Brown tonight in the second annual Jim Brown Memorial. He passed away just over 1 year ago. As the field makes their way down into turn number 1, they get the signal to show you the most awesome sight in all of motorsports. With the GeForce Racing Leagues tonight, we go 4 wide from the Volusia Speedway in honor of Jim Brown.
Great sight to see here as you see the drivers 4 wide. This is a great sight to see as they come into turns 3 and 4, honoring the late Jim Brown, a great man, and we could not thank him enough for getting Roger into racing and all Roger does here tonight. So as they come into 3 and 4, let's see what these drivers have in store for you here tonight. Here they come, 4 by 4.
Very cool sight in the real world and iRacing. I don't care where it's at. I love a 4-wide salute. And well done, drivers of the GeForce Racing League here tonight. Well done as they'll break formation and head them on down into turn number 1. And we're ever closer to the start of tonight's Jim Brown Memorial 40-lapper from the Volusia Speedway. Oh my, this is going to be a good one as you see the cars catching up to the pace truck on the back straightaway. We'll be set.
Sean.
What's that?
Goosebumps, Sean.
Oh,
that sums it up for you. Goosebumps.
yeah, I love it. I love the 4-wide. Always love the 4-wide. As the field continues to make their way into formation behind the pace vehicle. Of course, we've got Jim's going to watch this one. Best seat in the house, and you know, there's no latency or internet drag where he's watching from tonight, so we know he's going to enjoy this one. We know Roger's going to be busy, as always, during one of these events. And tonight, guys, we hope all of the friends and family of Jim Brown can sit back and relax and enjoy this event in his name at some point. As you see Matthew Croakey and Stephen Goldner side by side on your front row getting set for tonight's Jim Brown Memorial with the A&J Custom Creations Renegades live on GeForce TV.
This is going to be a fast track here tonight too, Sean. Volusia is normally very fast, so we'll have to see how the track breaks down and what lines are going to come into play here. I believe coming to the green at this time off of turn number 4. And yes, Wally's going to dive that pace truck down to the infield. Green is out, and we're underway from Volusia with the Jim Brown Memorial.
Heading on down into turn number 1. It'll be Matthew Croakey grabs the initial lead, but here comes Stephen Goldner and Sean Bowers both coming after him. Goldner's going to get the race lead. Slide job off of turn number 4. The 30 leads lap number 1.
Jesse Bandy with a slide job. As looked like we had cars getting into each other. Looks like we do. Caution flag over the speedway.
Yeah, that is going to bring us our first Malcolm Mills replay of the night. Let's just jump back a lap here. Yeah, you see the incident there, and we're going to get a bunch of cars. Ooh. Kyle Moonen, your points leader, involved in that.
That he was. Looked like Sean Bowers slid Jesse Bandy off turn 4, and it looked like he was clear, but then maybe getting a little loose on the front stretch. So looked like Moonen, yeah, Kyle Moonen involved, Sean Bowers. I believe Jesse Bandy was involved as well.
We'll have to see. Here's a better look at our Malcolm Mills replay here. Coming up on the screen there. You see Bowers and Bandy racing for the position.
Just ever so slightly. Ooh. Okay, so probably slight contact. Bowers got into the front stretch wall there, right into Blake Chapman. Brennan Lacey sneaking by, and Moonen trying to sneak by too, and could not do so. And Moonen goes for a ride up into the fence. So does Bowers and Chapman, and yikes.
Yeah, yikes indeed, as the caution flag flies here early on in the Jim Brown Memorial here from the Volusia Speedway. And some heavy hitters going to have some damage to their cars, if not worse, as we get set for a green, I believe, next time off of turn number 4. Boy, was that, tight, close racing. I use it a lot. No malice was intended there for anybody involved in that, but yeah, just a byproduct of a early close event. And right now, no problems for that number 30, Stephen Goldner. He's out front once again. That Bandy-built Powerhouse Motorsports number 30 will bring us back to the green.
He got a great start the last time as Matthew Croakey looks like he spun the tires. We're going to ride on board with Goldner looking back at the tail tank, rear push bar, and Croakey sitting in that second place spot. Goldner with a great restart as he's going to rocket it back out to that race lead. Croakey sitting in second. Jesse Bandy up to 4th. Brennan Lacey, your driver of the week, up to that 4th spot. And Roth Carenta rounding out your top 5.
Good battle there between Lacey and Carenta, side by side for 4th. Carenta to the bottom, cannot get Brennan Lacey. Lacey runs in the 4th spot just behind Jesse Bandy, the 57 in 3rd. Matthew Croakey continues to run in 2nd, but Stephen Goldner out front. And he's going to see what was a pretty nice lead to go away here as a caution flag comes back out over the speedway.
That it will, and Goldner, just a great restart there for that 30 car. On the initial start when the green flag dropped, it looked like Croakey spun the tires coming into turn 1 and 2, which gave Goldner the advantage, slipped right by him and out to that race lead. Croakey still holding on to position number 2, and Jesse Bandy in that 3rd place spot currently. So, great racing so far on lap number 5 of 40 here for the Jim Brown Memorial here for your A&J Custom Creations 360 Renegade Sprint cars.
Yeah, long ways to go before the end of this one here tonight. So these drivers are going to have to kind of clean it up here. And then they're also going to have to think about fuel consumption and everything that goes with a long 40-lap race like we are running here tonight. As we'll take a look at your Malcolm Mills replay, looking at Joe Backus here deep in the field, the 46 car. Oh, it starts in front of him. Cranmer gets around in the 07. Looks like the 45 of Ramsey involved there as well, and that's what put us under the caution for this Malcolm Mills replay.
Not hard racing, but you get into these corners. This is a weird shaped track again on this half mile of Volusia. There's a little more space than what we had last week at Wheat Sport, but sometimes you just don't see a driver maybe to your inside, or you set up for the corner wrong, have to get on the binders, not realizing there's a car right behind you that has nowhere to go. So it's really all about how sure you are coming into the corner, and make sure to hit your marks, and also setup comes into play as well.
Absolutely, it does. By the way, all of the replays brought to us by Malcolm Mills, based in Oakland, Ontario, Canada. Malcolm Mills Millwrighting, a full-service millwrighting contractor featuring custom welding and fabricating, plus services for their industrial clients. That's mmmillwrighting.com. Another fantastic restart for Stephen Goldner. Lights out when they come back to the green. At 30 is backing off and trying to run away from the field.
That he is. Croakey in that 2nd spot, Bandy in 3rd, Lacey in 4th. Here comes Carenta trying to take a peek to the inside of Lacey off turn number 4. Side by side for that 4th and 5th place spot, with Stephen Goldner still out in the lead in car 30.
Carenta and Lacey going at it as they head to turn number 3. Lacey on the bottom, Carenta on the top. Carenta will have the advantage. The 10 car in the 4th spot as they hustle back down into turn number 1. Battle for that 2nd spot here as they go side by side down the back straightaway, Scotty.
Jesse Bandy taking a look to the inside of Matthew Croakey through turns 3 and 4. Goldner still out to that race lead. Jesse Bandy had pulled up to the tail tank of Croakey. Now fades back ever so slightly. Here comes Lacey on the attack again to the 10 of Carenta as they come down the backstretch to turn number 3.
We'll go on board with Matthew Croakey running in a second as we look back at the 57 of Jesse Bandy. Bandy going to the inside into turn number 3. Let's go on board and get his shot right next to the helmet as we head down into turn number 3. This is on board the number 57 of Jesse Bandy.
DM smooth there at the wheel, gets into the front stretch wall. Now into turns 1 and 2. Slide job from Carenta. Bandy crosses back over, still going to get that 3rd place spot, but that 10 car is on the move as here comes Lacey coming around to call on the outside.
Yeah, 3 cars now battling for that position. Here comes Carenta to the bottom. Slide job. Bandy sneaks back around the outside. Brendan Lacey's going to follow him. Oh, wow. Carenta throws the slider, and it cost him a spot. He'll slide off back into the 5th position as we rush down the front straightaway. Back to turn number 1. It's still Steven Goldner out front by 1 second.
Lacey got into the outside wall again, but still trying to make a move on Bandy. Lacey upstairs, Bandy sliding up the track to block him. Croakey still running in that 2nd spot.
Oh!
Lacey into the front stretch wall and around. I believe he's going to keep it going. Oh, contact now. Caution will be coming out.
Yellow flag coming out. He got into the 09 of Brian Moore Jr. He was able to continue on as there's a look at the 09 ride as we go under the caution here in tonight's Jim Brown Memorial event. Wow, did not see that coming as some great racing going on up there in the top 5. These drivers are up on the wheel here at the Volusia Speedway, and we'll get a Malcolm Mills replay of exactly what happened on this one as we're going to get a look at the 414 of Brennan Lacey here. As you saw him have trouble on the front straightaway. Let's back it up here, Scotty. You saw the trouble on the front straightaway for the 414 machine. Got into that concrete, and it's not forgiving here at the Volusia Speedway. And then you'll see him. He'll try to ride it out. He does a nice job from not destroying the car right there.
Getting into that guardrail just a little bit and try to keep his foot in it. And just coming down the track, making contact with the 09, sending him up the track. Oh, Jack Clevenger. Whoa,
wow.
Just barely missing him. And Lacey going for a ride there in the middle of turn 1 and 2.
Boy, you know, for all that happened in that incident, it could have been a lot worse. And still on that Malcolm Mills replay, all the things that could have gone wrong in that. As you see the 09 of Brian Moore Jr. off the win earlier tonight, and the Rebels do not see significant damage on the SRC 09, so he will continue to run in position number 7. Here he starts behind quick timer Jeff Fitzpatrick, who runs in 6th. Langevin up to the 5th spot. Carenta now 4th. Jesse Bandy 3rd on this restart. Matthew Croakey runs position 2, and Steven Goldner has been the leader for our opening 14 laps as we go back to the green.
And look at Goldner again, shooting out to that race lead. Just leaving everyone in the dust. You see Croakey, Bandy, and Carenta. Here comes Max Langevin, car 161 up to that 5th place spot now. And your quick timer tonight, Jeff Fitzpatrick on a tear, trying to catch tail tank at 161.
Got to make note of this driver right here. It is Lane Snook, the 123. He has gained 10 positions. Make it 11. Could it be 12 as he works to the inside of Steven Fernberg? That Lane Snook, number 123, had to come out from deep in the B main, and he is into the top 5 with 11 positions gained.
That 12-year-old is definitely a wheelman making his way through tonight's Jim Brown Memorial A feature event. John Short trying to catch tail tank of that 123 car to go along with him. Great battle here coming through turn 1 and 2, Sean.
As we look back up front, we're side by side for the 3rd and 4th place. Ross Carenta, the 10, the 57 of Jesse Bandy, right behind Croaky's number 2 ride. Back down into turn number 1 they go. Bandy trying to hold on to a podium finish here tonight with that 57, fending off Carenta thus far. We'll come around, and we're going to be nearly halfway home in the Jim Brown Memorial 40-lapper for the A&J Custom Creations Renegades of the GeForce Racing Leagues.
Goldner still out to the race lead, almost by a second, a little over a half second now over the 2 of Matthew Croaky. Jesse Bandy stacking back from your race leader as here comes Ross Carenta trying to get a run on the 57. Meanwhile, deeper in the field, we got him almost 3 and 4 deep through turns 1 and 2, Sean.
Look at that 09 of Brian Moore Jr. working the bottom behind Luke Gasgrick, working the bottom of the 419, the 71 of John Hine on the top. Here comes Jack Clevenger into the mix, Larry Moody in that mix. Good battling going on back here. That is positions just right there on the edge of the top 10.
That is John Hine. The 71 is your 10th spot, fighting with Gazarek. John Short right in front of them. 2 by 2 they come. As we're going to go back here, it's going to be Ross Carenta trying to make a move on Jesse Bandy for that 3rd and 4th place spot. Carenta is going to get by him and slide up the hill. Bandy crossover move as they come down the front stretch. It's Ross Carenta up in position number 3.
Bandy sneaks back to his inside, cannot pull the slider down there in turn number 1. Carenta with the momentum down the back straightaway. Bandy now runs in 4th. Max Langevin trying to come after the 57. He's got Jeff Fitzpatrick right behind him. Lane Snook up to position number 7 in that 123. You see him rim riding the speedway and coming after the 90 of Fitzpatrick. Down the back straightaway they go and into turn number 3. Here's a look at Carenta. There is Bandy, and he's got his hands full right now with Max Langevin.
I tell you what though, Sean, that 123 car, Lane Snook coming around to call on the outside. He has found something as he's carrying the momentum currently in the tire tracks of Jeff Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick back on the low side as Lane Snook up on the top side. Looks like Matthew Croaky though has caught your leader as the caution flag flies. We were about to have a great battle for the lead there between Stephen Goldner and Matthew Croaky.
It was starting to shape up. Croaky has been fast. He erased a 7/10 of a second lead to chase down Goldner before this caution flag came out. Let's see if we can get a look here. What brings us under the caution? Could be trouble for Preston Cranmer, the 07 machine.
Oh, happened right in front of him.
Oh, he just got clipped. There he goes.
Joe Backus looked like got into Brennan Lacey, sending Lacey up the track and into Cranmer.
We'll take a look at it again down here in turn number 1 as, yeah, just a little contact in front of him, and then Cranmer's going to get hit here coming off turn number 2, shoots him up over the wall and into the fence.
Nothing intentional, just good, hard racing. Tires touch, sending another car up the hill, and unfortunately, Preston Cranmer getting the raw end of the deal there.
He's been able to get the Epsilon Sprint Wraps car back out there on the track where he'll restart deep in the field. How about it for these two here as we get set for this one? You know, I talked very briefly about it, Scotty, about fuel load in these 360 sprint cars, and it takes a lot to make 40 laps here. And so when we get down here in these closing stages, you're talking right around 20, I would guess 24, 26 gallons these drivers probably took for the start of this feature event, maybe a touch more than that. We're talking 7 pounds a gallon of fuel that they burn off, and we're going to get down, when they take the checkered flag here in 13 more laps of green flag action, they're going to be down there to 1 or 2 gallons of fuel left. So you do the math there. You're talking hundreds of pounds of fuel coming out of the back of these cars. Dramatically changes the setup. I've got to wonder if Matthew Croaky had his car set up for it late in this A main.
Wonder if he did. They can also change the wing position, so they might be sliding those wings back to give them a little more rear weight on those wheels. As Matthew Croaky looked to the inside off turn number 2, did not get the run that he needed. Croaky really hasn't been good on his starts, but in these long green flag runs, he has been almost unstoppable. But here comes Ross Carenta at the 010 trying to battle for that second place spot.
Carenta right there stalking the top two. If they start throwing haymakers, he's going to be there ready to pounce. Speaking of, here we go for the lead. Krokey to the bottom. Goldner through the middle, sliding up. He'll grab the cushion off of turn number 4. We've got a battle for the lead with 11 trips around the track to go.
Krokey with the race lead that time by at the flag stand. Steven Goldner maybe fading ever so slightly here in car 30. Changes his line down to the bottom as he was running the top side. Here comes Ross Carenta in the 10 car. Now putting up a battle for that second place spot with Steven Goldner as they come off turn number 3 and 4.
Oh yeah, Carenta's got to look to the inside here, looking for position number 2. Goldner says, enough of that. I'm going back to the one that had me out front. He goes back to the top of the speedway. He'll do the same down here in turn number 1. Is it enough to get the run and come back after Carenta? They're side by side for second. Down the back straightaway, wheel to wheel as they hit turn 3, Scotty. Here comes a big slider from Carenta.
Good job on the 30, and it will stick. Carenta up to that second place spot. Goldner crosses over, tries to do the same in 1 and 2, cannot do so as we come into turn number 3. Here comes Goldner to the inside. Carenta up top. Goldner gonna stick to the bottom. Krokey does not know what is happening behind him. We're still battling it out for that second place spot.
It is a good one, as you see the 123 of Lane Snook. What position is he running, you ask? He's into the top 5 after starting 19th here tonight and setting his sights on the 57 of Jesse Bandy. Big run for the youngster out of Pennsylvania as this battle for the second spot now into the hands of Steven Goldner. Can he get a run? You see it on the ticker up top. 0.6 of a second. He trails your race leader, Matthew Krokey, as they come to the line. 5 laps to go in the Jim Brown Memorial.
Full laps. Goldner reclaims that second place spot from Carenta. Lane Snook up to that 4th place spot as the caution flag flies here at the Volusia Speedway. Wow, what a run for the 12-year-old in the 123 car, Sean.
Oh, I've got a feeling this gain of the spot is going to come at the cost of one of his teammates here who was in the top 5 and had been running out front. Let's take a look at what happened here to put us under the caution. Here's Jack Clevenger deep in the field, the 78 machine. He got into the front straightaway, and he crashed down the racetrack in the 78 ride. Not sure what happened here. Jesse Bandy right now is showing on my screen in 22nd place.
Possibly, I hate to say it, Sean, but possibly out of fuel?
Boy, that would surprise me.
Yeah, because he just slows right there on the backstretch. Normally 30 lap features instead of 40 here tonight, so anything is possible.
Car is running at that point. Hard to say. We'll see if he went into the pit area here. He did not. So not sure what happened there. As we'll go back to live action here after the Malcolm Mills replay here tonight, as we will get set for a shootout here this evening. 4 laps to go in this main event, the Jim Brown Memorial. You got to think, if you're Matthew Krokey, though, you did not want to see this caution flag come out.
No, you didn't. Lane Snook up 15 positions in that 4th place spot. You know, we just have a handful of laps to go here, Sean. Anything could happen. I think that youngster is going to put it in the top 3 here, though, tonight with the way he's been running.
We will see as we come back to the green. The 2 of Matthew Krokey will lead us back down to turn number 1. That bottom line where you want to be. Well, maybe not. Ross Carenta is going to break formation. The 10 car going to the top. Here comes Lane Snook to his inside, and he's got a podium position, or does he? Carenta trying to come back around the outside. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, all using different lines as we sail down to turn number 1.
Lane Snook trying to stick it to the bottom and get by the 010 of Carenta. Carenta slips up just a little bit, side by side for that 4th place, 3rd and 4th place spot. Goldner into the wall up top. Here comes Snook to the bottom, and he is going to have that 3rd place spot in car 123. Goldner still upstairs in car 30.
Does Snook have more left for him? He's looking for second from 19th. Slide job, and he will get it pulled off. 3 wide for the second spot. White flag is in the air. Matthew Croakey is leading this one on the final lap, but look at this battle for second. Croakey is gone down the back straightaway. He's going to take the checkered, but for second, watch this one. Snook, Goldner, Carenta at the line. Lane Snook is second. Wow.
What a run by that 12-year-old, the 123 car, Lane Snook. I got to check to see how many positions that was, Sean, but what a run from the 123 car. 17 positions for that 123 driver, Lane Snook, out of Pennsylvania. Wow.
Goodness, what a feature here tonight. A couple of different leaders and a hard charger that came from way back to put his car into the podium. Ross Carenta going to spin around down there in the pit area. Matthew Croakey going to park it down here in victory lane with Lane Snook, and Stephen Goldner going to join him on the podium here tonight for our Epsilon Sprint Wraps podium presentation. My goodness, what a feature event it was here tonight, as Goldner's going to pull into the podium area here as well. Scotty, what a feature event, as we will hear from all of our top 3 finishers here coming up in our Epsilon Sprint Wraps podium presentation. And tonight, that's also going to include our 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger recipient. What an event it was, as Stephen Goldner, you see the Vanderbilt number 30 down there in the Epsilon Sprint Wraps podium presentation, as Stephen Goldner going to come up here, and we'll head over to Scotty DeYoung, going to have a word with tonight's 3rd place finisher.
Stephen, this track was fast, and it definitely showed the battles in the closing laps. What was it like there running with Ross Carenta and Lane Snook there in those closing laps?
It was good, nice, clean race with those guys. I mean, they're always racing me pretty clean, and I try to do the same for them. So, but it was definitely tight there coming to the checkered, running 3 wide. But I know I missed the bottom there coming to 3 and 4, and I just tried to hold on to at least 3rd. It's a heck of a run for Lane. I know he started pretty deep.
With going from Weed Sport last week now to Volusia, what different changes do you have to make going from that racetrack to not quite an oval-shaped track here once again, but a very fast half mile?
I've freed up quite a bit for here. I've never really run well here at Volusia. I'm always too tight. I mean, every time we're here, I'm always too tight. So I just tried to free up a little bit more than what I was for Weed Sport, and just tried to hang on. I was really good early, but I think I faded away pretty quick there.
It seemed you had the greatest of starts and restarts here tonight. Setup-wise, you said you freed the car more up. Was that a little bit of a hindrance then in those final laps as the track seemed to slick off a little bit more?
I was able to move my wing back quite a bit. I started it really far forward, so I had a lot of adjustment there. But I don't think I had the speed they did and couldn't really hit the bottom the way they were. I was just trying to, run up top and try to hold my position in second, because I think Matt there was definitely the fastest car as of late. I mean, Lane was pretty quick too, so it would have been cool to see them battle, but definitely can't hang my head on 3rd.
But getting another podium finish here tonight, who would you like to thank for putting this 30 car on the podium?
I got to thank Velocity Race Designs, Vanderbilt Racing, all the guys at Vanderbilt for sure, for all the setups and everything they do. Wagman Brothers, Bio.com, Dirt Doctor Trucking, Fits Perfect Photography, and I got to thank all the guys again, because they definitely helped me out in the last couple weeks here.
So Stephen Goldner in the 30 car, putting it on the 3rd place here on the podium tonight. Congratulations and good luck next week.
Thanks a lot, guys.
We're going to go to Sean Niestead, who has our runner-up here tonight, up 17 positions to get second. And he is also our 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger recipient tonight with Lane Snook. Sean?
Lane, did you think any chance in the world starting 17th you'd come home second, or starting 19th that you would come home second here tonight?
Well, I knew I had a car under me, so I knew there was 40 laps, and I knew I had time to get to the front, but I didn't think I'd be able to get up to second.
You had a restart there with 5 laps to go. I think you were in the 4th spot at that time. Did it dawn on you then, or when did you realize that you would come all the way up into the top 5?
pretty much right then, I knew if I hit my marks, I would have a chance of winning, and I kind of ran out of time there at the end.
In the real world, you're a go-kart racer and a pretty good one at that. Does any of what you learned there transfer over into iRacing? And does that explain your success here with the GeForce Racing Leagues?
I don't think it does. Go karts are completely different from this, but I think you just practice a lot and you get good at it. So practice makes you really good.
With a couple laps to go when you and Steven were running for the second spot, did you at any point there hope for just one more caution with maybe a green-white checkered?
Right when I got in the second, I was hoping for a caution so bad, but it didn't happen.
It's good to see the 23 car back up front or towards the front here tonight, Lane. Who do you need to thank for the strong run tonight and also picking up that 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger Award again here this evening?
I need to thank Velocity Designs, Vanderbilt Racing, Brandon, Jesse, Steven, Kyle, Brennan, Fitzy, JP, Dirt Doctor Trucking, Bio.com, Powerhouse Motorsports, Wagman Brothers, GeForce Racing League, See You Guys for the Broadcast, Universal Settlement Service, Jack on Howard Associates, Keystone Alliance, KKP, Keystone Recording Products, Fox's Pizza Den, Mexico Ridge Beef Farm, Snook Dirt Designs, and Fitzy's Perfect Photography.
All right, Lane Snook, your runner-up tonight. Congratulations, Lane.
Thank you.
Lane Snook going to come home in position number 2 here this evening, and that gives us one more driver to talk to. The car says 2 tonight, position number 1. Catching up with Matthew Croakey is Scotty DeYoung.
Matt, this car tonight didn't look the greatest on restarts, but under green flag conditions, that car rocketed out to the front. What was the difference between the starts and then these green flag runs for you here tonight?
Honestly, I think it was more just me sleeping on the restarts. Car felt great up top, and even when I went to the bottom there, the last 10 laps, it was a rocket, and I can't thank my team enough for that.
Setups is usually the name of the game, whichever track you go to, and it seemed like that 2 car was working great on the top, great on the bottom, and through the middle. How did that come into play then running down the 30 car of Steven Goldner, and then just keeping that car out front?
Well, honestly, I probably would have been up top all race, but I actually looked at my fuel and I was running out with 10 laps to go, so I had to hit the bottom or I was going to run out. Luckily, there was enough moisture on the bottom, and it was a rocket down there too.
Do you have any idea of the battles that were happening behind you within the closing laps and with Lane Snook coming up there that second place spot?
No, I don't. I don't want to look in the mirror.
Oh, so coming from a Weed Sport to Volusia here this week, definitely some big changes. What were some of the changes that you made to put this 2 car out in front here tonight?
Uh, More practice laps this week. I actually had more time to hop on and run practice laps here at Volusia and get the setup dialed in with the team, and it was a rocket.
Conquering the half mile here this week. Who do you have to thank for putting this car in victory lane?
Yeah, first off, I have to thank Ross, Kenny, Chris, and Rob, Chance for all their help in the setups. Phantom Motorsports, Velocity Race Designs, Michael Sportswear, Power Outdoors.
Hey, Scotty, before we wrap this one up, I've got to ask, Matthew, is this your first win with the GeForce Leagues?
This is actually my first career league race win.
Ha! How's that feel?
It's been a long time coming. I mean, finished second to Braden so many times last season in B division, and now come up here and run good with the A division. Feels great.
Well,
Incredible.
congratulations. Like Sean, you said the car says number 2, but definitely the top spot here tonight and first career win for Matthew Croakey tonight. Congratulations and good luck to you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Sean, back to you, my friend.
How about it tonight for Matthew Croakey, going to get his first career win in any league around the world, let alone getting it here with the GeForce Racing Leagues. This is his 76th career start in a GeForce Racing League event and will be his 16th career top 5. What a night, Scotty. We'll put the official results up on the board here in a second as we talk about the event here. You talk about the track changing each and every week, Scotty, and the drivers had to be set up for it. They had to be ready for the extra 40 laps as we honored Jim Brown tonight, and what an event it gave us.
Definitely. I think the story here tonight, though, Lane Snook coming up 17 positions, starting 19th and finishing second. What a run for him. But also the story here tonight, Matthew Croce getting his first ever win in iRacing, and could not come at a better night here than Volusia. Very great race. This track always puts up great racing, and we definitely had some wonderful, wonderful entertainment here tonight, Sean.
Absolutely. What a night it was from the Volusia Speedway Park down here in Barberville, Florida. The modifieds racing down there in the real world tonight. They're going to hand out some more gators this week, and it's a great time. Racing season starting to begin here once again in North America. Scotty, final thoughts on this night as we look to close out, and we'll turn our attention to the Fairbury Speedway. Question mark? Yes. Is that what I was thinking about for next week? Yes, Fairbury. We're going to a tight little bull ring next Monday night for some Monday Night Madness.
Love bull ring action, small, tight racetracks. There will be some wreckage involved, but very great racing from bull rings. Love the short tracks. Cannot wait till next week. Here at Volusia, though, bringing home a gator tonight, Matthew Croce. Very excited for him for his first ever iRacing feature win. And congratulations to all the drivers here tonight. And Lane Snook picking up your 2Ws Plumbing Hard Charger Award. And we look forward to next week from Fairbury.
We'll look forward to that one. I bet they could, Andy Patton over at A&J Custom Creations could make a gator-looking trophy for Matthew Croce for his first league win here tonight. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to Croce for taking home the honors of being the winner of the second annual Jim Brown Memorial. So for everyone here with the GeForce Racing Leagues, we want to thank you all for tuning in here tonight. We want to give a big thank you to all of the supporters of the GeForce Racing Leagues, the sponsors, the teams that all make it work, and for everyone who works behind the scenes, we thank you for your efforts as well. That's going to wrap it up. We will see you Thursday night. Scotty and I will for the Big Block Modified. So, of course, they're always brought to us by Epsilon Sprint Wraps. A little Thursday night thunder coming up. Of course, we'll be right back here to the Volusia Speedway Park for that one. Really, really looking forward to that on Thursday as well. For Scotty DeYoung, I'm Sean Niestad, wishing you a warm and a good evening here, and we'll see you back here at the track real soon. Good night, and God bless.